Net neutrality is a scam. At least those are my initial impressions of it. It's actually a top trend right now on hashtag, but I believe it's being promoted by some organization. Net neutrality is always getting a lot of establishment backing, which is always a great sign to know that it's not for the people, it's actually for the elite, if that's what you want to call them. But it's always packaged as, oh, it's for the little people, oh, it's for the collective, oh, it's for everybody's interest. Fake news. The idea behind net neutrality is that individual ISPs, internet service providers, will be able to not let you access certain websites, which is ridiculous because isn't that what all this fake news hysteria pushed by the establishment did to many websites? Google has features now, Facebook has features now where they block you from accessing certain websites because they arbitrarily call it fake news, even though it's just alternative media with a different perspective and often not funded by corporate interests. So, God forbid that, you can't access certain websites. That's the bleeding heart propaganda pushed by net neutrality. Yet the establishment doesn't give a fuck when they're arbitrarily shutting down websites for having a different opinion because they're, quote, fake news. Oh, so it's already bullshit there. But, yes, it strikes me as a scam, and it's okay. So an internet service provider has the power to not let you see certain websites. Or they might make you pay money to access a certain site. This sort of free market... this erroneous free market demonization. First of all, why would an internet company want to... There's a fucking supply and demand, okay? If you start charging your customers money to access a certain website, or if you start banning certain sites, you're going to lose customers. Customers don't want to have... Can you imagine? You're paying money for internet, hard-earned cash. You're paying for that internet, that monthly internet. And then you try to go to a website and it blocks you? You know how infuriating that would be? You know how fast I'd be picking up the phone being like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? And I'd be hanging up and going to the next fucking internet company out there that doesn't fucking block websites? I would say there's a pretty safe free market balance in place so that internet companies, the last thing they ever want to do is ban people from going to certain websites without a good fucking reason for it, or to charge them extra money or whatever. Net neutrality reminds me of the fairness doctrine. The fairness doctrine was this bill that Democrats were trying to pass many years ago that would basically... I don't remember the exact details because it was so long ago, but it had to do with radio. And radio was being dominated by conservative voices. Kind of like how on YouTube's dominated right now by conservative, Americana, whatever the fuck you want to call it, type views. That's dominating in a lot of parts of the internet. In fact, I would argue that's why Donald Trump got elected. If Donald Trump would have gotten elected on the basis of what the mainstream media was telling the voters, no one would have voted for Trump. But because the internet was there so people could watch unedited, full campaign speeches and rallies of Donald Trump talking, unedited and without the fake news bias on the internet, as they can search for it themselves, people got to see the real Donald Trump and they voted for him and he won. The fairness doctrine was in radio. And conservative talk shows were kicking the ass of the establishment. It's really, liberalism is the establishment. The conservative shows were kicking the ass of liberal radio shows so much. The liberal radio shows were going out of business. They needed, like NPR needs millions and millions of dollars of taxpayer money just to stay afloat. That the fairness doctrine was basically a law that would basically force local radio stations to air liberal radio shows, even if there was no one fucking watching or listening to it. I believe that was basically it. It was basically force these liberal radio shows, either give them funding or give them airtime, even when nobody was fucking going to watch it. No one was going to listen to it. And to me, that's basically what net neutrality strikes me as. It strikes me as another fake, oh, it's about helping the poor, the downtrodden, but really it's just an establishment scam to try to get their establishment ideology and propaganda masked as, ooh, we care about the poor, let's say, we're all liberals, we just help people. It's all fake. They don't care about anybody. And then they can get that onto the airwaves, onto the internet, and make sure that it's there to spew it out to people and spread the establishment propaganda ideology and brainwash the masses into a system of servitude, a system of obedience, etc. So the net neutrality thing reminds me just of the fairness doctrine. Strikes me as a complete scam. I don't fucking trust it.